Day 2 of our Ignite Your Impact Leaders virtual retreat. You guys, today is going to be so fun. I hope that you are ready. We are going to be talking about sponsoring and recruiting, exactly how you can find the people that are looking for you. We're going to discuss exact recruiting strategies. Where do you find people? What does sponsoring really mean? How do you set some goals? How do you actually build out a sales strategy so that you know what you're doing with the people that you recruit so that you truly can create leaders, not just people who sign on the dotted line. And I titled my little video here, Life is a Highway. Do y'all know that song? I don't know who made the song. I do not own the rights to the song, but life is a highway. But business is more like playing Mario Kart. Holly's in the house. Christina's in the house. Somebody over on Facebook is ready for sponsoring. If it says Facebook user, I can see your comments later. It just means you did not authorize StreamYard, and that's okay. Tammy's in the house. Layla's here. And Linda said, I'm going to ride it all night long. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe you're too young for that. Maybe you're too old for that. I don't know, but it's a song. So before we dive in, I do want to take a second to just appreciate you guys. And I just got off of a call and I sacrificed doing my hair. And so I was thinking like, okay, what matters most? And I want you guys to start evaluating this whole week. Where are you spending your time? What matters most? So type in the comments, what matters most? Are you spinning your wheels, trying to figure this out, trying to navigate these waters, and you feel like you're doing everything and you're tired? Is that you? We have to learn to prioritize what matters. And what I'm going to give you today is what matters. There are so many things you can do, but just because you could does not mean that you should. There is a lot of opportunity in social media marketing to get distracted. There is a lot of opportunity in social media marketing to go down the comparison trail. In business, we don't all do things exactly the same. So your focus today is going to be able to say, here is my chosen sales strategy. Here is my recruiting mechanism, and I am empowered to do the do. And tomorrow we get to walk into systems. So the step-by-step processes, we're even going to be talking about automation as the week goes on. So you're going to have to attend all these sessions to put this whole package together. But today is the start of that. Yesterday, hopefully you got clarity on why you're doing what you're doing. You got your mind right about what it is you're really doing when you say, I want to be a leader, not just a salesperson, not just a exhausted person who has an account that I'm not doing anything with, okay? So Layla does love systems. And you guys, I will tell you right from the start, Layla, who's freaking amazing, will be offering, if at the end of this you want to do a sales strategy assessment with her, you can do that. You can book a call. She'll do a sales strategy assessment with you guys to really assess what it is that you're doing. But throughout this call today, we're going to dig into that more, okay? So get ready, have your pen and paper, whatever piece of paper you've been working on for your notes so far, get it back out. We are going to be looking at some visuals today. So I'm not in my closet. My little one is with his dad today, so I can have an actual space outside of my closet. And I want you guys to follow me on Mario Kart. Okay, so before I give you the actual, take all the notes and do all the things. Okay, gut check. Remember yesterday we drank our truth serum. Today I'm not drinking truth serum. But when we drink our truth serum, we understand what's normal. And we're going to talk about the law of averages and ratios so that going into this, I'm going to give you the strategy. We're going to give you the systems and the step-by-step processes. But if your mind doesn't understand what's normal, When something goes a different way than you thought it would, you're going to go, what's wrong with me? That's not what's wrong with you. It's normal. Okay. So who's ever played Mario Kart? Raise your hand. I have a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 17-year-old, and an 18-year-old. And when my 17-year-old was little, I was a single mom and we played Wii a lot. And now the kids have Switch. And in Mario Kart, it's a racing game. Okay. And you pick the best car and you pick the best guy and you're like racing down the road and you're like winning sometimes. And sometimes you're like in 4th place. And then you're like making some traction, like you're getting ahead. This is like your business. Like, all right, I've got this. I figured out the path. I know which way to go. I've got the roadmap. And then somebody throws out a freaking banana peel. And you're like, what? And you slip on the banana peel. But you get back on track, or you just crash your car and you give up. You have a choice, just like your business. So then you're racing again. And then somebody throws out a turtle shell and it knocks you off your path. Okay, there are going to be banana peels. There are going to be turtle shells. There are going to be all the things that are on the path to get to this, end goal. And there's also going to be the coins. Sometimes you pick up the coins. You're like winning. Okay, this is life and this is business. Okay, your business, and I just got off a call and I want you guys to understand this. Your business is going to integrate with your life and you get to choose to create a lifestyle that you're dreaming of or you don't. It's a choice. It is not luck. It is a choice. Now, luck, I have heard, is opportunity met with preparation. You might agree, you might not. But for those of us who feel like, oh, she just got lucky, she was prepared. Okay? She was continually doing the do so that when the opportunity presented itself, she got lucky. All right. So understand that whether you're a turtle or a rabbit, there are going to be obstacles. And in business, we're creating our new lifestyle. And you have choices. Your life is busy. You feel overwhelmed. You feel like you're spinning your wheels and you don't know why you're doing what you're doing. We have to fix that part so that you can apply what I'm going to give you today. Okay. So if you've got your mind right, if you're ready, if you truly can see yourself and you wrote your 3-year letter, who did that, as having a different life than you have today, if it looks different 6 months, 9 months, 10 months, 12 years down the road, you will do something different now. And we're here to support you in how to do it. Okay. All right. So today we get to dive into goal setting, sponsoring, team building, recruiting, and actually giving you a sales strategy. I'll give you one more story at the end from Jim Rohn. If you want to stay tuned for that, Jim Rohn does not use the Mario Kart example. So when it comes to building your businesses and you believe in what you're doing, okay, so we have to have belief in certain things. You have to believe in your company. If you have any cracks in your belief, it will be hard to apply what I'm going to give you. You have to believe in your company. You have to believe in your industry. So if you're network marketers, you better believe in this industry. And if you signed up for it and you don't understand what it is and what's normal, that's why you're going to struggle. You have to believe in the products you sell. And this is, to me, I believe you have to believe in the products you sell. I know there's people who can sell ice cream to Eskimos, ice to Eskimos, whatever that saying is. I'm not that girl. If I don't use it, love it, have a transformation from it, and truly can believe in what I'm selling, it's really hard to sell. And last, you have to believe in yourself. So you got to believe in your company, your products, the industry, and you have to believe in you. If you believe in those 4 things and you're ready to get your action plan going, we need a strategy. And Layla and I were talking about an hour ago, and there's a lot of people who lack sales strategy. So this is going to be the foundation. Go back to your notes from yesterday when we went through the Jim Rohn, the skills you must have. You have to know how to get a sale, okay? But it's not as simple as like, oh, I can just go get a sale. You need a sales strategy. So I'm going to break that down today. You need a recruiting strategy. And when you come out of these things, you have to have systems for what to do with the sales strategy, the processes, the recruiting, the new customers, the new team members. So each of these we build out for you. Inside of our program, inside of our Impact Makers program, we're always working on these processes we're going through with you guys right now. Okay, so first things first. Yesterday we drew some circles, okay? Yesterday we drew some circles, and I showed you that when I'm setting a goal, I put my goal in a circle. So how do you map out your goals? Okay, so let's talk about what you're working toward. If you don't know what you're working toward, it's going to be really hard to get there. Let's talk about what I believe is very doable for any network marketer, if this is the way you're building your business through team building. And we need to map out our goals. So I believe that every network marketer can sponsor 2 new recruits personally every single month with a given strategy. And we're going to decide on your strategy today. 2. Now, if you can do 2, you can do 4. If you can do 4, you can do 8. If you can do 8, you can do 10. Over the course of this coming 2022 year, if you sponsor 2 new recruits every single month and you have 8 months left in the year, you sponsor directly 16, but you understand exponential growth. If you can sponsor 2 this month, could you do that? Who's sponsoring at least 2 a month? Talk to me about that, by the way. Some of you might be blowing that out of the water. Is there anybody who is sponsoring consistently 2 personal new recruits a month? Yes or no? If you can sponsor 2 in April, okay? And you can help those 2 sponsor their 2 in whatever month comes next, May. And you sponsor your 2. Now you have a team of 6. The next month, the 2 who were sponsored, sponsor 2 more. The 2, and you do the math. I don't know what's next. A team of 14, 16? Somebody do the math, okay? As you continue to grow, this is how you start off as a team of 2 and end up with a team of 100. It's exponential growth. That is the beauty of the industry we're in. So if you guys, recruit means business builder. So the words that we use are different per company, but when you sign someone up or they sign with an ID number under you and you're their upline, you're their sponsor, they're a business builder, they're a recruit, all the same word, okay? So what do you guys call the people that you sign up? We have to set a goal. Right now, set a goal. We're focusing this week on leadership. So we're focusing on the team building side, okay? So if you're focusing on the team building side and you say, my goal is to sponsor 2 new recruits, how do I do that? How am I going to break that down? What are my recruiting strategies to go find the people or to get in front of the people and attract the people to you? Okay, so you guys have options when it comes to recruiting, but it first starts with a written goal. Written. Right now, write it on your piece of paper. This month, I'm sponsoring 2 new recruits. Now, if you're like, what do I do with them? That comes this week. Don't worry. Okay, creating your team onboarding system, helping turn recruits into actual team builders, helping your duplication duplicate so that you can truly have a thriving organization. That's where we continue to build, okay? So even a lot of leaders that have great organizations, there's a fallout somewhere, okay? So maybe they didn't keep on working their personal businesses, and when people quit because some hit the banana peel and decide they don't want to drive anymore, they're like, I'm out. That happens. And Jim Rohn says, well, isn't that interesting? People quit. It happens, okay? So if you know what you're working toward and you have the systems and strategies and processes that will teach you this week built out, you'll know what to do with the 2. So you have to have a basic sales strategy and you have to have an onboarding strategy to get people started successfully. And if right now, Ramona, Val, Jillian, Layla, Jody, Lisa, Carla, if right now I said, okay, I'm going to teach you how to go find the 2, but 2 months down the road, if you have 10 team members, do you know what to do with them without wearing yourself out? And 6 months down the road or 2 months down the road, you have 25, a team of 25 now. Do you know what to do with them? If you say, oh, hell no, I don't. Okay, we have a problem. So Jessica Quivy and I, when we were first really starting to grow our businesses, I said, Jess, we've learned how to generate leads. We don't know what to do with them. Okay, so where's the breakdown? And I'm like, cool, now we know what to do with customers. We don't know how to actually help our team grow. and we had to build out our onboarding sequences, okay? So this is part of where you find where the fallout is in your personal business this week, and let us help you create what's missing. So options for recruiting, you guys have to decide today what your goal is, and then how you're going to reach that goal. So we have a goal to get healthy. What's the plan to get healthy? So let's use that analogy before we go down the business analogy, because there is not only one way. I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ways to recruit, and you don't have to do all 7. So if you're on a healthy living journey and you are helping me get healthier, you're going to talk to me about what my life looks like, right? And you're going to talk to me about the food I already have in my cabinet, like what resources do you already have? And you're going to talk to me about what I'm already familiar with. Like I already have a gym membership, or I've never been to the gym, or I've never lifted a weight, or I love to lift weights, or I hate running, or I love yoga. When you choose your chosen recruiting strategy, it needs to feel right for you. You're not going to go, but that girl's over there doing it through Reels, I better pivot. No, you better not. Pick, focus, stay in your lane, Mario Kart. Stay in your lane, okay? So don't get into an overwhelm when I give you all these strategies about right now. You have to go build out the processes for all, because I have 2 focused recruiting strategies that I choose that may not be the same as a lot of my students, but the processes are the same. So I'm going to show you a sales funnel, and I'm going to help you understand this, okay? And then we're going to talk about how this all goes together. We're going to talk about the systems you need for once you brought these people into your funnel to move them forward, and what to do next. So ditch the overwhelm and stay in your lane. I'm going to pop up a screen share, and I want to show you guys let me get Layla's comment off there. I want to first show you guys a basic sales funnel. Now, where are my impact makers at? And where are my action takers at? There are 0 reasons that this should not be familiar to you. Oops, give me just a second. Okay, this should look familiar to those of you that we already get to work very closely with, but this is a great opportunity to review. If this is new to you, type in the comments below that you have never seen anything like this before, and now you're going to be so excited because this is going to put some pieces together. I want you guys to understand the basic sales funnel. So when we talk about a basic sales funnel, it can be your basic funnel for recruiting. It can be your basic funnel for sales. It's a conversion mechanism visual that I want you guys to follow me on, because you have options, but the middle funnel does not change. Now, when we first talk at the very top of our funnel, okay, I always say leads to conversation to close. If we're focusing on just our basic sales strategy on how to find people, how to get into a conversation, and how to close a sale, this is the foundation of building a business. Because whoever lied to you and told you that you just share products, that's not true, because we don't get paid on sharing. We get paid on converting sales. You do not get paid to sign people up. That's called a pyramid scheme. You get paid on the sales that run through your organization. Do y'all understand that? So we have to first, as a leader of ourselves, understand how we convert sales, how we find people, how we get them in front of the information to expose them, and how we close. Once we can do this, we understand the recruiting funnel. It's the same thing. When we fill our funnel, we're looking for what in online marketing is the first time I really heard the word leads. You might say prospects or something like that. We're looking for traffic. And where does traffic exist? Okay, so y'all are building online businesses, but where do you find people? Well, basically people are everywhere. I think there's like 7 billion in the world and like 2 billion on social media. There's 600 in my town. There's 12 at the grocery store. But when we first say, I'm out of people, no, you ain't. You ain't out of people. You may not have a strategy to find the most qualified, interested people. So your struggle is, great, I know where people are, but where are the people who are most likely to actually take a look at what I have? Does this make sense to you guys so far? Because if you can do a better job of finding people who are more likely to have interest in what you have, you're going to be more likely to close the sale. So what do you guys sell? At the root of this is the products that we sell and the service that we provide. So do you sell makeup, skincare, nutrition, fingernails? By the way, shout out to Anna Masai. I finally did my nails, and she sent some little goodies for my kiddos, and my son was obsessed with the Trident bubble gum. You guys go above and beyond. Our impact makers are amazing. That community, we've learned so much and grown together. And I just learned so much from you, Anna. So shout out to you. But when you are finding leads, I want you to think about, remember the who, the how, the what, and the why. Who is it that you guys can help? And if you don't understand your basic marketing message, who you help and how you help them, you've got to do that first. So we do that together inside of our program. Who is it that we help? So if you've told yourself, well, I can help everybody, that's not a clear message. I help busy moms create simple meal plans so that they can do one good thing every single day and not have to spend 10 hours a week in the kitchen. Who is your target market, so to speak? Where can we find these people? We can generate traffic all over the place. You might have a website. You might be on YouTube. Some of you might be doing paid ads, although I don't recommend it for the average marketer. You might have email traffic where you're creating, and this is what we're doing in Action Takers this month, we're creating lead magnets and opt-in forms and landing pages. And for some of you, you're like, I don't know what that means, right? You're building your traffic through social media with Instagram, TikTok, Facebook groups, stories, reels. You can do referrals, word of mouth, parties. You can do in-person events. It doesn't matter to me how you choose to generate leads. What matters to me is, are they moving past this top stage here and actually getting in front of what you offer? So a lot of you guys are getting stuck in the size of your group, how many views you had on a reel, how many people are in whatever, and size doesn't matter, okay? What matters, it's not just quantity, it's quality. So if you own a gym and your leads are people hopefully who want to get healthier or fit bodies or whatever, you're not going to try to go find people who don't care about healthier or fit bodies or living their most optimized life physically, right? So you've got to think of who is it that we're trying to find that is looking for what we have. And this applies to your recruiting as well. You've got to be looking for the people who are looking for you. If you can do a great job of generating leads, but you don't know how to move them into the conversation, you have a reel out there and it's got a lot of views, and maybe you showed yourself putting on your makeup, but you don't have a call to action, you're not moving people forward into actually getting the information. Is anybody stuck in this part of the funnel? Yeah, I've got a list and I'm looking at my list of 100 people or 10 people, or I've got a Facebook group of 200, or I've got a personal profile, which is the main, actually top of our funnel for a lot of us, of 800 friends, but I don't know how to move them into the conversation. This is where you need our help with strategies and processes of how to take these leads, which is a larger section of the people, and move them into a conversation. So when we talk about this regarding recruiting, I'm going to talk about my main methods of how to capture leads and how to actually move them into a conversation. If we can get them the information, a certain percent of them will close. A certain percent of them will convert, okay? So let me stop the screen share and let me take just a second to take a peek at what you guys are saying so far as I move forward with recruiting strategies to find leads to put into your funnel and your strategy to present your business opportunity with the intent to close. So before we move into that, we have to understand law of averages. So type in the comments, law of averages. Back to my good old BFF, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn says, when you do things enough, a ratio will appear. And if you're not tracking how leads come into your funnel, how many of the people that come into your funnel actually get in front of the information, and how many of them get the information, actually convert. You don't know your ratio. You don't know what's normal for you. So let's say you have a group of 20 and it's a party. Let's go that route. And 20 people get invited and come in to the group. How many of those 20 actually attend the event? 5. I'm just going with my averages, okay? 5 on the live. Of the 5 who come to the party, how many of them convert? They squeeze out the bottom, right? 1. Okay? This is Cathy Callahan's story. Not a sales superstar, but I do know law of averages. I understand ratios, and I know how to rinse and repeat because I tracked my activity. So if my strategy is parties and a hostess invites 20 over to the event, and I can get 5 to show up on the live, and I can convert 1 sale, this was with my health and wellness business, that's a $300, $400 sale on a new customer, okay? I do that 8 times a month, and now I've got 8 customers. This is where tracking comes out. From those 8, I would turn 1 to 2 consistently into a business partner every single month. So in 2020, I recruited 17 directs, whatever that number is, from that system because I understood averages. So from the 20, I end up with 1. 20 times 8 is 160 people that were leads. 8 converted at the highest level. Well, customer level, and 1 to 2 became a business partner. If you understand law of averages, you don't freak out about the other 152. It's going to be okay. Now, Jim Rohn says you do things enough, you're going to get better. You partner your strategy with skills and experience, and now your averages increase. So now maybe instead of closing 1, you close 2. Maybe instead of getting 5 to attend the live, you learn better skills and strategies, and you get 10 to show up on the live. So you can close 2, or if your sales conversion increases, you can close 4. What would this look like for you? Am I doing a good job? What's in my brain, I think makes sense. So it is your job to be the student, you guys, and ask the questions for what is not clear, okay? I was just on a call with somebody talking about how we try to do all this stuff ourselves and we just can't. All right, before we move into recruiting strategies, let's understand a little bit more of the law of averages. When it comes to business partners and that conversion, okay? So let's say you can get in front of people and you're converting these 1 to 2 new business partners. Guess what's going to happen? Because this is normal. So you're going to be like, this is normal. She told me this would happen. Some of them will do 30% of the work. Some of them will do 60% of the work. And some of them will do 100% of the work. And Jim Rohn says, and that is not of your making. It is not your job to lose sleep over why did this recruit only do it for a minute? Why did this one never even need my help and she's at the top of the company scaling past me? That is not of your making. Law of averages. Just like spring, next comes summer. Just like summer, next comes fall. And Jim Rohn says, don't try to change that. You can't. It's not about the setting. It's not about the direction of the wind. It's about the setting of the sail. So as we move into actual ways that I recruit, I hope that this helps you understand what's going to happen is normal and it is not of your making. Okay, 5 to 7 different ways that I have found people. Where do you find people? Get your pens and papers ready, okay? Number 1, you need to have a profile with a clear branding of who you are and how you help people. A clear Facebook profile, a clear Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, can you do a profile? A clear profile positioning you, who you can help, how you help them, and what they need to do next to move into your sales funnel. Not just people looking at your Facebook page, clear messaging. So number 1, you can go optimize your personal profile to be a funnel to move people in. Go look at mine. Go look at Kristen McDonald. It is not McDonald. It is not just because we're leveraging social media for business. Okay. So that's one way you can do it. This is what some people are calling modern day marketing. If you like the strategy of putting yourself out there, positioning yourself and people moving themselves through your funnel, you have to have the strategy and the stages built out so they can opt in to your funnel, they can get the information, and they can close. This is called a passive strategy. So type that in the comments below. Passive. So if you're doing social media marketing and you're doing lead magnets, optimizing your profile, email sequences, that's passive and it's fine. Okay. Passive takes time, but that's one of my main ways to do it. Number two, I'm going in the order of what I love. Facebook groups. Okay. Number two, Facebook groups could be an active strategy or they could be passive. So I want you to evaluate right now how you're leveraging all the tools that you currently have in your toolbox, and are you leaving anything on the table? So number two, if you have a Facebook group, Facebook groups have been my main active way to recruit. Now follow me. I hear it all the time. Cathy's the party girl. I don't do parties. No, she freaking ain't. Cathy's not a dumb girl who's going to leverage everything. And Cathy's going to teach and train and track and do what converts the highest, what simplifies my life, what brings me back the joy and keeps me out of the friend zone with people, because I do not apologize for what I have to offer. So Facebook groups, you can simply have a VIP group where you just post information and you hope that somehow people understand what they're supposed to do. And you invite them into the group without a strategy, without a process, and you invite them in using the invite button that so many of you need to stop doing. Truth serum this week, right? Or we can partner a passive strategy with active, and you can do an event inside of your Facebook group. And just like we're doing right now, we can say, hey guys, yeah, this group is filled with great stuff, but this week you have to be here. And here's why. We have a special event going on. Here's who it's for. Here's how it's going to help you. Here's what we're going to talk about. Here's how we're going to help you move through it. And if at the end you want what we have because you don't want to stay stuck, this is what you need to do next. That's what a party is. It is not this overcomplicated spam, whatever you're lying to yourselves about it. It is. It's a purposeful event where I get to say, okay, all my group members, come hang out with me. Come spend 15 minutes with me on Tuesday night. I'm going to purposefully share our products and our business. And that has been my personal number one conversion for the highest amounts of recruits, is a purposeful presentation in my business in a Facebook group. If you struggle, well, how do I recruit through that? We have systems on that. We teach all that in our program, okay? So it's like, well, how do you really get people to show up? How do you get them to convert? Like we teach all that. So number two is Facebook groups. You can do your own group that you run as like a passive strategy group where you're just kind of posting stuff. You can have your own group where you're doing it as a purposeful presentation, party, event, soiree, social, whatever, okay? Okay, and Christina, you're in our program. So what just happened? What just happened? Tell me about this. Tell me about this. Okay. I love you. I adore you. Okay. Next, you guys can leverage other people's Facebook groups. So most of us are network marketers, and most of your uplines have groups that you can leverage. Maybe it's like a discover group, a meet the company group. It's whatever group, or an ATM group where they like get shared the business with them, but you don't have to create the group. Like it's already created. Do you guys have a group like this? If you have a group like this where you can invite people in to learn more about the business, you got to have a good strategy, because if you just throw a bunch of people in that aren't your qualified leads, they're not going to convert just by being in a group. Okay. So if you're leveraging a weekly business call, or you're leveraging a an ATM group that's meant for converting over to the business, you have to ask yourself, how am I getting people in there? Am I making sure they get the information? And what is my follow-up sequence for that? So we have a lot of these tools we can leverage. We just don't know the processes. And that's what we'll continue to build on this week. Okay. Number 4, you guys can host challenges. Okay. Challenges are super, super fun events. And if you're doing a recruiting blitz, okay, you can host a challenge instead of a party. And I was working with Charlene Pryor. She's a student in our program. And we were talking about, I'm like, what has been the number one way for you to recruit so many people? And she's like, well, I have my group and I do these parties, but they don't often convert at the party. They often convert later. Okay. And I said, okay, well, how did you get so excited to invite them? And she's like, well, a couple times a year, our company has like a sign up for free recruiting blitz or recruiting opportunity. And that makes you get really excited. You can go create your own challenge anytime you want. And here's what we do. Let's say you're going to do a challenge and it's helping teachers, and maybe it is about your products, but you know that teachers are a hot market for network marketers because a lot of us are teachers, realtors, nurses, they make great network marketers, people that are willing to serve for not a whole lot of money, people that understand the long process. We make great network marketers because we understand the journey. When you do a challenge versus just a one-night party, it extends over 3 to 5 days. And Layla Kanzler is inside of our Impact Makers working with these ladies on how to do challenges, which is kind of just a pivot on a party, but it gives you a longer exposure period, just like we're doing with you guys this week. And you can fill that challenge with certain people. So maybe you're doing the challenge for nurses or for teachers or for busy moms, and you're already filling the funnel with people who would make great recruits, okay? Layla does, I love challenges as well. It allows you to put more energy into filling the event, and it's over a longer period, so you don't rinse and repeat every week the same way you would a basic party. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we on number 5? Number 5, you guys can do virtual events. Now, virtual events might be the same as parties, but you can actually host virtual events right outside of Facebook. You can leverage Zoom. You could do it through Facebook events. You don't have to set up a whole group. When I was first relaunching my business, I set up a very, very simple Facebook event, okay? Not a whole group, not like a community that's going to grow and grow forever. I just set up a very simple event leveraging the Facebook event feature, and I hold a virtual whatever it is. Virtual healthy living class, virtual how to build a business in 15 minutes alongside of your everyday busy life event. That will attract a lot of people, okay? So you can do virtual events that don't have to be a big challenge. They don't have to be a group that you keep going on and on with forever. Last 2, you guys can leverage YouTube to find recruits. I actually am really loving this whole omnipresence thought process of LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. But without strategy on how to multi-purpose your content, people are spinning their wheels trying to do a little bit everywhere and doing nothing really, really well. So YouTube has actually been, ironically, a really great one for me to have people find me. It's more of a passive strategy because I can go post videos on YouTube that I've already posted on Facebook. If you use the tools we teach that are automation tools, you can actually stream over to Facebook and YouTube at the same time, and LinkedIn. And then we have a basic sales funnel for if we capture leads through YouTube to have a call to action for them to opt into a thing. A lot of us, it's opt into our group so that they can now get in front of a purposeful presentation. They could opt into your email sequence if you're building email marketing with modern day marketing. The last one is simply referrals. You guys, when you're finding recruits, I want you to hear me loud and clear on this. We shut down a lot at the no. So you're like, hey, amazing hostess. Hey, amazing friend. I mean, I started with my dream team. You know, so-and-so, I would love for you to take a look at what I'm doing. I think you'd be amazing at it. It would be so fun to vacation. And we do these reach outs and they're like, no. And then you're like, oh, I suck. Everybody hates this business. Why did I do that? In my health and wellness business, my top level person got into the business because her friend was offered the business and her friend said, no, it's not for me. And she's like, oh, no big deal. Do you happen to know anyone this might help? And she's like, you should talk to my friend, Sherry. She would be excellent at this. She's looking for a great stream of income. She's a busy, she's working full-time cleaning houses. She's a go-getter, and she referred her out. So do you have a strategy to take the small group of people you know and leverage their network? It doesn't have to be that they host a party for you. It could be that they put a post on their Facebook wall. It could be the simple ask. With my health and wellness company, I leveraged referrals all the time. And I was like, hey, refer 3 people to me. I'll give you some fizz for free. Just put them in a 3-way message. Make me the connection. I can take over from there. Okay, so today, as we close out, here's what I want you guys to decide. First of all, what did you take away? What is going to be your main recruiting mechanism? Where do you want to go find the people? If it's parties, girl, you got my heart. If it's online marketing, girl, you got my heart. I love them both. Passive and active strategies work, but if you don't partner them and you're only relying on passive marketing, you better make sure that you're not just excellent at getting lots of content out there, but you're actually flipping them into a conversation. So if it's stories, if it's reels, if it's live video, if it's posting, and you do not have a great call to action to tell them what to do next, that's why you're not converting. You're missing the middle piece. You're missing the exposure mechanism that allows them to convert, and you're wondering why people are not just showing up in your inbox asking to sell because you didn't even talk to them about that. One of the things we started doing in our groups that I was talking to one of the ENVPs in a company that I'm helping is we just simply started doing a little business talk every Friday. Not weird. 5 minutes just talking about business benefits, switching it up, not a big business presentation. People started binge watching that stuff. And yes, when we went to ask, had they ever thought about doing something like this? They're like, actually, I've been watching those Friday videos and I think I want to sign up. I'm like, what? So I want you guys to really nail down the strategy that resonates with you, where you can give your time to, and understand that what is normal is normal. So if you want to stay for my Jim Rohn story, here's our last story so that you can understand a little bit of the normal of what's going to happen outside of Mario Kart. Sorry for flipping my paper. Okay, so Jim Rohn tells the story of the sower, and he talks about all we're doing is planting seeds. Okay, so you're planting seeds, planting seeds, planting seeds. And he talks about how sometimes you're going to plant the seeds and it's going to be planted on thorny ground. And the thorns are going to kill the seed. And that is none of your making. So you're going to plant the seed, plant the seed, plant the seed. The thorn is going to get some, okay? Some of the seeds are going to fall and the rain is going to wash them away. And that is not of your making, okay? Some of the seeds you're going to keep sowing, keep inviting, keep telling the story, keep getting better. And finally, the seed might fall on good ground and it's going to sprout. It always will. It always will. Just keep sowing. Don't ask, why did the thorns get some? Why did somebody talk themselves out of an opportunity? Why did somebody fix their screen door instead of coming to your meeting? Don't ask those questions. Keep planting and some of the seeds will fall on good ground. From the good ground, some of those planted seeds are going to flourish and grow all the way to the top. Some of them are going to do 30% of the work. Some of them are going to do 60% of the work. And some of them are going to wither and die. And that is not of your making. So as you're continuing to build your business, get the skills that you need, have your mind set right, partner your mindset with strategy, which is what we're talking about today, and systems, which we get to talk about tomorrow, and you will have a beautiful garden, okay? If you guys are ready for systems, come back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central. If you want an assessment on what's working in your business and what's not, and you want to do a sales strategy assessment with Layla, as many as she can do, type in the comments below, I need a sales strategy assessment. We will reach out as many as we can. Thank you for gifting me your time today. Hopefully it was helpful. in my defense, Layla and I talked like an hour before my plan of training. She's like, we also got to do this. So Layla, I hope I got it all in there. Good news, we've got 3 more days. Mark your calendars, you guys. On Friday, Kristen McDonald is going to come in and teach you guys exactly how she has grown her business and how she stays incredibly on purpose as a top leader and still has a life. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you are an impact maker or an action taker, I'll see you very soon. Okay, guys, bye for now.